Hello, and welcome to today's Flawless Solo Legendary Lost Sector, which is K1 Revelation on the moon. So on the upside, we are back to Unstoppable Champion, so we can use the Witherhoard as a real weapon rather than just a for fun weapon. Obviously, if you want to have a proper look at the mods, pause the video whenever you want. All the funny coloured ones are from the seasonal artifact. So there's a Void Burn in this Lost Sector, so Bad Omens is coming back, which is fantastic because I love the tracking module. So as you're coming straight in, I would drop a grenade there just because anything that you don't shoot while you're going over the bump will be sneaking up on the left. This way, especially if you have sunspots, you're killing anything trying to sneak up on you. Just reference, all of these Hive, they drop little fireballs when they die, so melee is not the way forward in this Lost Sector. So as you gradually work your way through the first ones that spawn in, on the right hand side, on the high ground here, you'll have the first champion, which is a Barrier champion. If you get to him quick enough, he'll actually still be there, if not he'll have joined the other Hive down below in a minute. It's usually a good shout to hit your shot, as a general rule. So while I do have the anti-barrier mods on this one, I don't really need them, I just have them for the sake of them. Just for reference, that was shot there for a reason. These Hive do retreat towards that box, so it's just better to cut off. There you go, cut off the retreat. So as you come down here, there's a box right in front of you. If you go past this box, there's a Shrieker that will start shooting you. So you can do quite a lot of the damage to these adds from a distance behind the box. And the next champion will spawn underneath them, which is again another Barrier champion. So you can take from here with the Witherhoard one at a time. Realistically, pop one Witherhoard, throw a rocket launcher in, he's gone, you don't need to pop that barrier. See, so you step past the box, the Shrieker wakes up. But since I'm already dancing about, the Shrieker does close its eyes very quickly once you get past the box again though. So all you need to do is step past the box and finish off. So with this Lost Sector, today at least, you get the helmets. So the Mask of Bakris for the Hunter, the Precious Scars for the Titan, and Chorus for the Warlock. Which are all, honestly, they're all fantastic exotic armor for each class. It's really nice actually, because with the legs, the Warlock got the best end of that deal. With the chest piece, they all kind of got a good deal, and with the headpiece, they all got a good deal again. So for this next area, you're going to have quite a few spawn points. So on taking cover a lot of the time and getting rid of these ads going back and forth while dodging the two captains, one in the far right, one on the high ground in front of you. They can both shoot those big cannon arc shots at you. So either dance back and forth or take them out with Bad Omens straight away. As long as you actually aim it and you've got tracking module, it will take them out. They don't usually duck for cover. But once you've got enough of these ads over here out of the way, if you go down here and hug the wall, none of the Hive above you on the high ground can touch you, so you can treat this first area going past. So one by one take them out. Obviously you can just leave them, to be honest, most of them won't come for you. Again, if you're going to use tracking module, you need to let the rocket launcher get onto it. At this point I just didn't want to waste too much ammo if I was obviously missing my shots, so I danced with him for a minute or so. I think it's best for everyone if I just speed this up a little bit. Just for reference, with these captains, there's 3 of them in this section and they all guard an area with one of those glowy crystals. Once you kill the captain, the champion spawns. So each section, once you kill that captain, you get an unstoppable champion coming for you. All you need to do, hit a little Witherboard, one quick rocket launcher, and they're down. At this point, just tidy up any other ads that you would be leaving at your back, otherwise, because you don't want to do that. So you'll have quite a lot of Hive up there as well, to be fair. I took out a lot of them at the very beginning, people that got up there, but if you didn't get that chance, don't run across this section without checking your radar. Always check the radar. With the legendary version, well, it's just warning system. And it's always a good idea to do the legendary version before the master version, just to get an idea, because the master version is the exact same, it's just got basically twice the number of champions, spawning from the exact same locations. So once the night is down and a good few of the ads are down, you will get a champion spawn. You'll just need to get rid of a couple more ads, and it'll be coming up. So you can see from this sector, because everything is all quite bunched together and I'm using the Witherhoard and alternating rocket launcher, I'm basically always charged with light, which means that every single rocket launcher blow is multiplied. And obviously I can stack 4 charges of light with the supercharge mod on the legs, I believe. So that means every time I throw out a rocket, it's amped up. I never run out of that. This one, you can just throw a super out whenever you want. You honestly do not need your super at any point during this last sector. It's just gratuitous. But it helps speed things up a little bit. So if you can do it from safety, like a Hammer Super or a Nova Bomb or Stasis Hunter, the whirlwind thing, if you can throw it from a distance, just throw it out. Save yourself some time. And the last night. So once you've killed the champion that comes out once each knight is dead, the crystal above where they spawn, the force field comes down, so you can break each 3 of the crystals. There are actually 4 crystals in the Lost Sector. You need to shatter 3 of them in order to unlock the force field from the final one. And destroying that final crystal will spawn the Lost. So just in case you've never done this Lost Sector before, or it's been a while since you have, just, you know, don't dick about with the crystals until you're really ready for that last boss to come up. If you have time to run around and pick up whatever ammo you've left lying about, it's best to do it, because it's just a good shout. So far I've done most of the guides on Hunter and Warlock, but that's only really because I play Titan so often that I consider those 2 subclasses the hardest to do, because I'm less practiced at them. But yeah, as a Cryonator, it's really difficult not to go around punching things, so you just need to remember each one of these you kill, that fire they leave behind comes pretty close to killing you. So now everything's dead, just run around. I usually leave the crystals until the very end because it gives me a chance to go back to areas I'd already finished and pick up any ammo packed I forgot to pick up earlier. And when you get to the last crystal, then the force field, as mentioned, comes down. So I prefer to go up to this section over here, close to the exit, and you're mostly protected. So I know that right there is a spawn point, but I'd forgotten exactly when things spawn. So with a horde, you already point, go for another one, and that rocket blow should kill multiple enemies. Continuing your charge with light. Now, for the Master Lost Sector, if you really want to depend on the rocket launcher, I'd say keep this many charge with light mods for the rocket launcher boost, but for the Legend version, I think you maybe only need 1, if that. You could just go for charge with light and high energy fire mods, just boosting the amount of damage you do. You could also go for a warm-up, which would be pretty effective in such a closely packed group of enemies. Didn't even need any Dreambane mods on this version, but my Titan is a bit more killy than the Warlock class. That's all the Solar Blast damage from the Sunspots to finish things off. So there's actually a few waves of ads that spawn at the end of the Lost Sector. You could stop at any point, go and open the chest and be done with it. And this tactic works just as well on the Master Lost Sector of this, if you follow the same positioning and sections, taking them out one section at a time. The Master Lost Sector is not a great deal harder, so I mean, I'll probably do that tomorrow as well, to be fair. No, don't use the rocket launcher, not until you get the chest. I think I was only running over here because I remember the knight with the arc shield, but I couldn't find him. Anyway. But one last thing on this, obviously the flawless version is always nice to have, but even when you get flawless, you don't actually always get anything out of the chest. So if you die at any point, don't give up on it, just carry on. You've got loads of revives. By the end of it, you have 9. So just get to the end and see what you get.